Hey everyone, welcome back to another market closing live stream. We've got a lot of earnings to cover today. It's going to be a big earnings session. Excited to talk to you all about it. Today's been a crazy day on multiple fronts. Excited though for the market. I do think that the market is self-implicating and self-fulfilling a recession. And so that's why the title of this video is This is the Recession. Now, I know that sounds crazy because it's like, wait a minute, Kevin, GDP is still high, right? But see, one of the things that's so unique about this sort of market is that our market prices things in way in advance compared to how things used to be priced in. And it's because we've become so Jay Powell sensitive. Now, that sounds extreme. Like, why would we be Jerome Powell sensitive? Well, let me make it very clear for you. Back in 1987 and 88, when the Federal Reserve bailed out the stock market because of substantial declines in the stock market over a very short period of time, and the Federal Reserve bailed out markets and said, hey, we'll provide liquidity. All they had to do was say, we'll provide liquidity. And all of a sudden, what happened? Markets rebounded. The crisis of 87, 88 was over somewhere around October 87. That crisis ended because the Fed opened their mouth and started talking. So this set a standard. When did the crisis of the dot-com bubble end? Well, let me make that simple for you. It ended in Q1 of 2003. After 2 years and a quarter, so a little more than 2 years, the stock market bubble of the 2000s, the tech bubble, ended. The crash ended because the Fed said, hey, we're going to accommodate the market. We'll lower rates. We'll accommodate the market. The same thing happened actually in 1994, which we didn't even talk about, but it wasn't as severe. So most people don't recognize that and talk about that. So we've got 87 to 88. We've got 94, 95. We've got the 2003 bailout. Then in 2008, what do we get? When does the market bottom? Not when Lehman Brothers goes bankrupt, not when there's peak fear. No, that's not when Lehman Brothers goes bankrupt or when the stock market bottoms out. The stock market doesn't even bottom out when Congress says, hey, we're going to support banks with the Troubled Assets Relief Program with $700 billion or whatever the bailout was at the time, $900 billion, something like that effect. Nope. That's not when the market bottomed out. The market bottomed out when the Federal Reserve said, we will provide up to $1 trillion of liquidity and help prevent this great recession from getting worse. What happened in 2018 when we had the taper tantrum of interest rates going up to about 2.5%, 10-year to about 3%? What happened then? Well, what happened is the Federal Reserve, right around December 18th to 22nd, said, hey, we're going to not raise rates as much anymore. We're good. Things have tightened enough. So what happened? The market bottomed and U-turned. So if you're looking for an opportunity to like really go like all in and not have some form of other reserve, the rest, in my opinion, always comes out when the Federal Reserve U-turns to the positive, not to the negative. We've talked about that a lot. Now, where do we stand now? Well, where we stand now is the market positioning to price in a recession, because we no longer react to, oh no, we're in a recession. We react to the Federal Reserve and Jerome Powell. This is why on this channel, we study the Federal Reserve. When the Federal Reserve is not happy, the stock market is not happy every single time. And the negative U-turn started in about February, mid-February of 2021. And so I believe the pain of the recession is actually now being priced in to the stock market. Whether or not we have a recession and whether or not the recession is even a big deal. Because think about it, a recession could literally be negative 0.5% of growth for 2 quarters. Year over year comps are too high, Q4, Q1, 2022 to 2023, because we're comparing to, Q4 2021. What happens? Well, great. You're in a technical recession. Okay, so you have a soft little recession. Yay, woo. And then you move on and you build out from there. But because our markets move so much in sync with the Federal Reserve, this is the kind of market that is clearly signaling to us we will price in all the pain that we can right now. We will flee to safety before we need to flee to safety. And what do you see when that happens? Well, you see equities fall. Not only do you see equities fall, but you see bond pricing actually rise as people flee to bonds. Take a look at what's happening in the bond market. Let's see here. Bonds right now, we're sitting at, still sitting at under 2.75 on the 10-year right now. We're way off the 3% figure where we were and where we talked about heading to for a while. We're way off that already. You've got obviously crypto and risk assets, Ethereum, Bitcoin, everything down about 4 to 5%. Tesla, we made a video talking about what's going on with Tesla and the Twitter deal and the potential for margin and so on and so forth. It's terrible. And it's also happening on a day that the NASDAQ is down 3.5%, which is extreme. 3.5%. I mean, anything with a beta of 2 is going to be, to the NASDAQ, is going to be down 7% today. It's a horrible day. Tesla's beta is about 2, but you've got about an extra 4% of pain in there because of the Twitter fiasco. But yeah, I mean, Arcimoto, down 13%. I mean, this is just an evaporation of valuations. Now, what's really kind of interesting is you've got some phenomenal companies and phenomenal earnings where now is the time that, yes, Andre, you are correct. Now is the time where you can actually, not in the short term, short-term calls are just going to evaporate. Now is the time that you could potentially build substantial long-term wealth by actually investing in this style of market, or at least when maybe we show signs of bouncing off of something. It'd be nice to be able to bounce off of something. See, right now we're on the minute candlestick sitting below the 0% on the fib, which is pretty dang crazy, given that we have had one of those intraday falls below on March 14th. But those were some beautiful bounces to take advantage of. And look, it's happened before. We bounced off on Feb 24th, rally, fall, bounce. Little mini day rally, maybe 2 days over here, depending if I get off average candlesticks, bounce, big rally, straight back down. So, hey, it's a rough market. It is not easy at all. On top of that, you have a lot of fear of a full-on recession being priced in, and that's what we're seeing just on investments, no matter where they are. And I don't think any industry is really going to be immune to this, other than potentially, well, I mean, even in the longer term, I mean, short-term trades like jumping into bonds or certain commodities, or those could be short-term trades. If you're a trader, I think there's still opportunities there. I do wonder how the wheat ETF is moving today. Let's check it out. So the wheat ETF doesn't have the H in it. Yeah, look at that. The wheat ETF is up today. See, it's like, this is where you kind of get that flight to safety mode. It's bonds and this. Like if I do, let's see, what was, let's go to the 20-year. Oh yeah, 10-year Treasury TLT. Yeah. So here's your TLT, which is your Treasury. I shorted this substantially along this ride, which is wonderful. I did close it out a little sooner than the bottom here. But yeah, you're getting that recovery here. So you got flight to safety here, right? Stocks, wheat. Let's see, IAU. Gold flat to slightly up, right? This is, it's very clear to me. That doesn't make it any less painful. Whirlpool, which is really surprising. They're one of the few things green here, but otherwise everything red. Specifically, Arcimoto, Carvana, Dutch Bros even. Gosh, they were immune for so long. Golly, geez, man, these are some crazy numbers. HUD 8 Mining. What are they at now? What are they? $3.65. Wow. Roku at 92 for Roku. Oh my gosh. Zillow's about to be under 40 again. Lucid, $17. Oh, AMC is also down 8%. Cloudflare down to $90, almost back into the 80s. Roblox is down 7.4%. Shift is going to go under a dollar here. Carlos Cardano at 83 cents. Wow. What a riot. Rite Aid. What do we got? BlackBerry. Redfin. There's Redfin. We saw that downgrade, the Piper downgrade this morning. So they actually rebounded off the 11 where they were. There's ARK down about 6%. Matterport, $5.80. Just great companies at crazy prices. Embraer, $10.88. Wow. That's another good one. Jeez, man. Like, you could just make a list of things now. In fact, I'm going to do that. I'm just going to write down ERJ. Honestly, like Redfin at these levels is just absolutely insane. I love NEO too, man. NEO is great. But I won't invest in Chinese companies because I am worried about the Chinese consumer more than the American consumer. Wow. What madness. Rivian, I've always had concerns about. Lucid's finally getting back to the levels where it's like, okay, you start getting much more interesting around your like SPAC levels. Wow. Yeah. Shift. Yeah. Craziness. That's all I could say is craziness. So anyway, okay, let's go ahead and prep for earnings and see what other kind of news we have. We do have earnings coming in 8 minutes was the closing bell. And then we've got a substantial set of earnings coming. And it's also possible that, I mean, if we get bad earnings here, it's going to be a poop show. All righty. Let's see here. When do I think small caps again? after everything else recovers. When I see all these guys going on CNBC speaking super bearish, it makes me feel like the bottom's near. I know, right? Yeah, that's actually a really good point. It's when all these people are freaking out. Bottom's near. YLR. Okay. If big tech companies miss, NASDAQ will head to 200 moving day. That'd be a disaster. Ideal entry point to get into Tesla, says someone. Yeah, I mean, hey, if you can pick it up. I mean, I thought under 9 was great. If you could pick it up under 8, great. In 5 years. Oh, no. Oh, you guys are funny. All right, let me get the term up. All right. U.S. Senate confirms Brainard to Fed Vice Chair. White House announces that they do not expect a food shortage in the United States due to the invasion of Ukraine. Explosions heard in Moldovan region near Ukraine spark war worries. Yeah, no kidding. 2 men plead not guilty to criminal charges as they pose as federal agents. Oh my gosh. Imposters. Imposters. All right. Yeah, let's look where the 200 is. Sell ADA and buy Tesla. I don't know. It depends how much diversification you want away from Tesla. Wow, QQ is now down about 3.6%. This is a pretty bloody day. Let's zoom out here. 200-day move. 200-day moving average is over here. Yeah, we're way below the 200-day moving average. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about in the chat. SPY. Ooh, SPY's almost at 0%. Disaster. Oh, weekly. Oh. Well, that's okay. Weekly moving average. Oh. Ooh, 256. Yeah, that's another 20% right there. Oh, yeah, that'd be some gnarly pain and some gnarly margin calls. Yeah. Okay. So let's watch the market going into the close. We got about 4 minutes to go. And let's get earnings ready. I'm excited to see the earnings because there's nothing else to be excited about. MSFT reports today. Let's pull them up. Microsoft. Then we have Google. See that beat on YouTube or not? It'll just everything will just miss. General Motors. CMG. Chipotle Mexican Grill. Visa. Enphase. Oh my gosh, there's so many earnings today. Texas Instruments. And a few others. Teradyne would be interesting. Teradyne. Oh, and Wyndham. Oh, and isn't Las Vegas Sands too? Wyndham Hotel and Resorts. And isn't Sands today? Or was that yesterday? Maybe that already happened. Oh, let me see if I can pull up Sands then. I'm not down on Tesla. I actually don't mind being down on like the stock Tesla being down. I'm down about getting stabbed in the back by who used to be my best friends. It's a rough day. And people in the comments are like, Kevin, don't talk about people on your videos. I'm like, you ain't my boss, bitch. All right, 2 minutes to go. Okay, good. So I've got all the earnings ready to go. This is the market need a life alert pendant, probably. Market is falling into the close. QQQ slipping further into the close as we await earnings. We have, or that was SPY rather. QQQ also though falling on additional volume here. Sarah looks unhappy. Yeah, selling off into the close. Let's see what they're saying here while we prep for earnings.
Appreciate you joining us. Wells Fargo Investment Institute with stocks at session lows down 770 on the Dow right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't name people. You're right, Blau.
Internals.
Oh, it's pretty lopsided, as you would imagine, to the downside, Sarah. So really not a lot of refuge. Not quite 90% of all the New York Stock Exchange volume to the downside. Some people look at that as a threshold of a real washout, but it's pretty close. As you can see, it's more like 7 to 1. Declining to advancing volume.
Kathy Wood just tweeted, equities and bonds seems to be warning the Fed that it's a policy measure should create an economic financial crisis. Equities are swooning and the yield curve is nearly negative. Oh, did the yield curve just invert again or near? Let me look because we were 18 basis points away earlier. Another metric suggests that Fed policy is already too restrictive. The dollar against expectations, the dollar has increased more than 13% from its low last year, a real burden for emerging and other markets with dollar denominated debt and a powerful deflationary force. 10-2. No, it's at 23 basis points, but okay. I mean, she's not right about the market screaming at the Fed. I mean, she's not, she's not wrong about that. That's exactly what's happening. The market's pissed. Look at that. Right below our 0%, folks. It's a bad day. Somebody just donated $20. Thank you so much. That is greatly appreciated on a day like today. Not even so much because of the stock valuations, just because it's a shitty day. All right. Let's listen to the close.
From Alphabet and Microsoft in moments. Consumer discretionary is the worst part of the market. That is going to do it for me here on Closing Bell. Dow going out with a decline of more than 800 points. I will send it into overtime.
Does that say black women in AI and it's a white lady on the left? I'm pretty sure that's what it just said. Yeah, see, look at that. Boston, black women in artificial intelligence. And it's like, oh, I didn't show it. Oh, no, I didn't have the bell thing. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it was this white lady is swinging the hammer at the stock exchange. And behind her is a banner. It's like black women in AI and like photos of black women. And I'm like, where are they to ring the bell? Anyway, well, they're not allowed to ring the bell. Okay, stop talking, Kevin. Anyway, okay, so let's do earnings. Oh man. I described because you mentioned how much you paid one of. I don't know that I've ever said how much I paid one of my employees. Let me put it this way. Anytime I've ever offered or been asked to give a raise, I've given it. I probably all in, and this would be like with other compensation, I probably saved like 500 grand losing 2 people in a year. All considered, travel, payroll taxes, insurance. Microsoft reporting's in. Microsoft comes in with $2.22. It is a slight beat on revenue, 49.4 billion. The estimate was 49.04. That's a beat. On the top line, intelligent cloud beat 19.05 bill, estimate 18.9 bill. Personal computing revenue beat 14.52 bill versus 14.33 expected. Productivity revenue 15.79, slight beat versus the 15.78 expected. Unsure what the EPS projection was. Google's out. Google miss. Google EPS comes in at 24.62%. Dollars versus the estimate of 25.71. Google ad revenue beat at 54.66 billion versus these are a lot of numbers. This is Google service revenue comes in at a slight miss. Google cloud operating loss comes in at a greater loss than expected, about $40 million greater loss for the cloud division. Other revenue, slight miss, but services revenues, advertising revenues up, cloud revenues up. Margin came in better than expected, 30% versus 28.8%. This is, let's look at Goog here. That's an EPS miss again on Goog, though. It's playing flat right now. YouTube ads revenue, $6.87 billion. Google authorized buyback of $70 billion. That just across the tape, $70 billion buybacks authorized. These companies have so much cash now. I think they're going to try to pad minor little misses with just buybacks. No GM yet, no Chipotle yet, no Visa yet, no Enphase yet. Texas Instruments comes in with a very bad forecast. Forecast for Q2 expected to be a midpoint of 4.5. Expected to be 4.96, almost $5, and they're coming in with 4.5. Texas Instrument drops 8% after missing estimates. That's not great for Texas Instruments there. We have more on Microsoft. Microsoft's EPS beat by 4 cents. So Microsoft had a top line, bottom line beat. No forecast from Microsoft and sort of mixes in between. Alphabet, which we have right here, down 2% right now. $70 billion in buybacks. Doesn't appear to be moving the stock. And no forecast from Google. I think I may have said Microsoft there. That's Google with the $70 billion. Okay, no results yet from the others. Oh, did I mention any wage? Oh, maybe I did. Ford launches their F-150 Lightning EV. Oh, nice. Texas Instruments beats on Q1, but again, a miss on forecast. Google's advertising revenue is $10 billion more. No. Oh, they mistyped it. I'm sorry. They totally mistyped it. Okay. Google cloud revenue. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that seemed crazy. Would that be right? No, ad revenue. No, it is. Oh, their total revenue. I don't know. They just retracted it and reposted it. Anyway, now it says, no, that was their ad revenue. That's interesting. Anyway, ad revenue, $10 billion more than a year ago. Google cloud revenue, about $1.8 billion more than a year ago. Oh, huge increases in earnings here. But the stock market doesn't care. The stock market's like, give me the earnings and I'm getting out. Look at that. Google go. QQQ dropping another 0.5%. Microsoft. Tesla another 0.5% in the after hours. GM comes in with EPS of 2.09. The estimate was 1.68. That's a beat. Earnings guidance reaffirmed going forward. Wow, reaffirming guidance. That's actually good. They are beating on full year adjusted EPS, expecting 6.25 to 7.25, coming in at 6.5 to 7.5. General Motors Q1 adjusted EPS $2.09 versus the 168 estimate. Really good. Yeah, Alphabet's revenue grew 23%. Still falling. No Chipotle yet. Visa is coming out now. Enphase. Enphase beats. Enphase margin 41%. Let's go. Enphase Energy 441 million of revenue versus 433 expected. That's a beat. Forecast comes in hot. Forecast was about 480 mil in revenue, and the forecast now is 490 to 520. Let's go. That is that's a triple beat on Enphase. Woo! There it is. Enphase 8%. Look at that. Triple beat on Enphase. Woo! The Texas Instrument falls after forecast. Teradyne, not yet. Wyndham, not yet. I want Visa. Okay, Visa. Adjusted EPS 1.79 billion versus 1.65 expected. That's a beat. Net revenue 7.2 billion. That's a beat over the 6.83 expected. These are good earnings. More transactions processed, higher margins. Google has higher margins. Enphase has higher margins. Enphase beats the forecast. Visa beats the forecast. Visa beats on Rev, rather. They have not given forecast yet. I don't know that they will. Google didn't give a guide either. Yeah, Enphase kicking butt. Chipotle, waiting for Chipotle. No guide from Visa. Enphase up 8%. No Wyndham yet. That's the next one. I think Wyndham is... Oh, 4:30. That's why. All right. So that's going to take a bit. So Wyndham's going to be a bit. So it's really Chipotle now that we're waiting for. And Chipotle comes out in 1 minute. 1 minute. Let's go. QuantumScape. They do report today as well. I mean, we don't actually expect earnings out of them. They're still, R&D, right? Nothing yet from QuantumScape. Windows OEM revenue up 11%. Cloud revenue for services up 29%. Xbox content and services up 4%. Surface revenue up 13%. LinkedIn revenue up 34%. Net 16.7 billion. Returned 12.4 billion to shareholders in repurchases and dividends. Microsoft shares down 2.6%. This is a stupid market, man. These are really good. Even... I mean, Google Cloud revenue beat. Google, it's the EPS that missed by by a little more than $1. 10% on Enphase. General Motors, higher forecast than expected. Sees 13 billion to 15 billion versus the expectation of 12.3 billion. Chipotle, comp sales up 9%, beating the estimate of 7.86%. Chipotle adjusted EPS beats by 3 cents at $5.70. Revenue comes in at $2 billion, which is about $10 million less than expected. That's the is that the rev, adjusted rev? Q1 rev. They wrote it twice here. I think no, I think maybe they just mistyped it that time. Come on, Bloomberg, get with it. Comparable sales up 9%. That's great. Excitedly calling out earnings reminds you of the good old days. Meta's probably going down with Google. Q2 payment volume by Visa meets expectations. But they did process more transactions. Yeah, that forecast is great on Enphase. La, 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 la. Okay. Chipotle. Visa. Okay, good, good. And yeah, okay. So we hit Microsoft, Google, GM, Chipotle, Visa, Enphase, Texas Instruments. Chipotle earnings beat as customers paid more, helping offset higher costs. More inflation. Yeah, thank you, Moto. Yeah, no, these earnings don't look like these are not recessionary earnings. You know, it's just the market's having a little tantrum because it just Fed. It's not wrong though. Like everything in this game is about the Fed. And they rug pulled us twice. You know, they rug pulled us in January, and then they rug pulled us last week. You know, it's really annoying to listen to them because they just keep changing their minds. Oh well. Tesla closed down 12% today. I'm fed up with the Fed. You and me both. Wow, what a day. What a day. All right, I'm just seeing what other info we have. Let's see here. So, Russia threatens to cut Poland gas supply. Commodity currencies retreat as ruble wins battle. Will 2022 become 2015 again for the yuan? Okay, well, we'll catch up on that later. Foreign currencies and that. Elon's tweeting about Raptor rockets. Elon's now clarifying matching free speech should match the law. I mean, duh. I think there's a Tesla note in here. I'm trying to find it. Where is it? Oh, okay, yeah. I multiple pieces of this Edward Harrison guy writing the Tesla's next at risk large cap tech stock to fall, and that combined with the Elon fears made for good timing on that article. Yeah, Elon tweeting that he's not selling any shares probably would happen if he actually weren't selling shares, but maybe he is. Passing out pain pills. Shots. Who wants to go drinking? I just lost my friends, so I need new friends. Who wants to be my friend? That's okay. You know, it was a survivable backstab. I'm still here. Just missed my lungs. Kimball Musk is tweeting about bots on Twitter. Okay. And then let me see if Kathy would mention anything else. No further tweets from Kathy. And yeah, it's interesting how Tesla Tesla's valuation fell $110 billion over fear that Elon might sell, $21 billion worth. Seems legit. All right. Cool. All right, folks. Thanks for being here. I hope you still enjoy the live streams. Let me know.